right, I'm gonna check the driver's side spark plugs to take a look and see how everything looks. So I'm gonna do the same routine as I did on the other side. I'm going to mark each spark plug boot as I pull them off, and then I'm gonna take out the spark plugs and look at them and compare to see how they look. You know, the other side looked pretty good, so we're gonna look at this side as well. Let's take a look and see how it comes out. Take out the number one, so let's see what it looks like. All right, so this is the first one. Looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick it there and I'm gonna pull them out in line. I already labeled the spark plug boots. Stick this on there, get a little more leverage. All right, there we go. I kind of felt that on the other side. Some of the threads were stripped on one of the spark plugs, or two actually. So I don't know, whoever had this, I don't know what they were thinking, but I've never seen that before on a vehicle, on cast iron heads at least. All right, looks pretty good as well. You can see there, looks nice, looks real nice. Man. There we go. Man. Oh yeah, this one looks really good as well. So it's going down the line here. This thing is there we go. Look at there. Wow. Looks good. Awesome. I ended up getting these valve cover bolts and these hold down brackets cleaned up. Come to find out, these are actually the original AMC valve cover bolts along with the little hold downs. I can see some paint on here. They were pretty nasty, so I wanted to clean them up. I used a little bit of Mechanics Holy Water here to get everything clean. Just sprayed some Berryman and used a wire brush. Actually, this is a bolt that needs to be cleaned up, and this is what I've been doing just to clean bolts up. If you want to just put a little bit of Berryman on it, get a wire brush, hold it with some needle nose, and just kind of scrape it like that, and that's a good way to get a bolt cleaned up. For the most part, might take a little bit of elbow grease depending on how much gunk is on there. So these are looking good. All right, I picked up a new set of spark plug wires here, being that these ones are shot. So I picked these up, and they're just OEM style. I'm not going fancy here. At this point, I'm just trying to get the car started, and then I'll see what I'm going to do after that. If it runs good, then I may end up driving it around for a little bit. We'll see. Or at least I may take it for a test drive, and we can go on that ride together. So, yeah. So I'm going to get the spark plugs put back in. I'll get the spark plug wires installed, and then I'll start looking at some other things. I also want to look at the gas tank too. So a friend of mine let me borrow this digital video inspection camera, and it also, another component of that is this camera snake. This goes onto that, and I'm going to use this to check out my gas tank. Currently the gas tank is empty, so what I want to do is fish this down there and that's going to give me an idea of what the gas tank looks like inside, if I'm going to be able to use it and put some gas in it and try to get the car started. If not, I'm just going to run a fuel line into a gas tank to start the car. So let's get this thing hooked up. Put this little clamp on here to hold the license plate down. See if we can get this gas cap off. First thing I want to do here is get a flashlight and look down. Okay. This looks like it goes right down. Looks good so far, but I can't see in the tank, so let me get this camera going. I'm gonna stick this in there. Turn this camera on. All right. Let's see what we got in there. Well, I think what we're seeing is it's too dark. Let's see here. Oh, it's got sludge on it. That's what happened. It's got some nasty old fuel sludge on it. I'm gonna feed it down slow. And we'll see what's down there. Oh, looks like, yeah, it looks like it gets sludge on it immediately. Let me try this again. That wasn't much help. Okay, I'm gonna get this fuel filter off. I got the valve covers bolted down for the most part, except the bolt that goes here. But there's a hard line for the fuel line here. So I didn't put that bolt on until I change out the fuel filter. So, let's take this thing off. I haven't got one yet. I forgot when I went to get the spark plug wires this morning. There we go. And I don't know, this might even be in good shape, but who knows? So I'm gonna change this out. Got a new fuel filter here, and I got some hose for the fuel line. I got a couple of different sizes of vacuum lines. It's probably not even long enough, but just so I can see what I might need. So I'm gonna get this fuel filter put on right now. I got the vacuum lines put on. I capped a couple off. I'll show you guys a close-up of that. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna drain the oil, put some fresh oil in it, put on an oil filter. Since I don't have a dipstick tube or a dipstick at all, nothing, I don't have no idea what the oil level is. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put 5 quarts in there so I know that I've got oil. And my neighbor gave me a battery, so I'm gonna get the battery hooked up and at least see if we got power. I wasn't able to connect all the wires. I went through the wiring diagram and some stuff is a little unclear. So I'm just gonna see at this point at least if there's power to just turn over the motor. I'd rather just do that than have to worry about if the headlights work and all that. So I'm gonna see if I have enough wiring together to turn over the motor. So let me show you a close-up real quick of the vacuum lines. Also, I still need to put on the spark plug wires. I haven't done that yet. Okay, I'm gonna use my little pointer here. So you see I got the fuel filter put on, and these vacuum lines that go to the carburetor, and over here I got these put on as well. Also the one that goes to the EGR back here, it was disconnected, so I found out where that went. It goes right down in here, and this wiring here, I cannot figure out where this goes, so I'm gonna shelf that for the moment. I don't, you know, it's plugged into some little vacuum thing over here off the carburetor. So it's plugged into some vacuum thing here off the carburetor. So I have no idea. And it just goes, the wires are all cut on the end, as you can see right here. So I'm gonna shelf that for the moment. Again, I just want to see if I can get the car started. I want you guys to see with me. We're gonna see what this oil looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and drain the oil while I am changing out the spark plug wires. This way I can just let everything drop out from the very end. So let's see what everything looks like. This is a big socket, by the way. I think it was, what is it? And I don't know, again, if this is stock AMC, but this socket is a 3/4. It's like, I'm gonna have to get my breaker bar because this thing is, seems a little tough. Let's see, let's try this out. All right, I had to set the camera down to break this loose, but here we go. Let's see what this oil looks like. Man, can't even get the socket off. Well, let's see what we're looking at here. Oh, it's all, no, my socket's just crooked, not the, all right. Well, doesn't look too bad. Again, maybe whoever I got the car from, maybe they put oil in. I have no idea. Again, I'm just completely speculating. I was basically told this car's been sitting in the desert for several years. So, oil doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that drain out. And then I'm gonna get to the spark plug wires right now. One thing that I like to do, just a little tip, is I like to use some dielectric grease on the spark plug boots. This way it helps the boot go on real easy, and when you need to pull it off, it'll come off pretty easy as well. So this is it's a good thing to do. And I'll usually put them on the tips of the spark plugs too, but so actually what I'm going to do is I'm just using this toothpick here. I'm going to stick it on the conductor inside of the boot here. That way it'll get on the spark plug. So I'm going to get this put on. That went on easy. So I marked all of the existing wires. I numbered them all. So I'm going to go ahead and swap them out like for like, and then I'm going to check the firing order in the manual just to double check to make sure I got everything there. Really dig the way the plugs angle. Pretty cool. This is something new for me, being a Chevy guy, you know. Yeah, there was already one missing here, so I have to reference the firing order, so, which is good anyways, so I can get a hang of it. So I've got that wire in there. Got number 8. Some dielectric grease in here. This stuff is great. I put it on all my electrical connections, by the way. Even if I have like weather pack connectors and stuff like that, I still put it on the contact point because you never know if water gets in there. And you know, this'll really help keep that conductivity going. It's great. Great stuff. Get number 8 in there. Alright, got number 8 on. Get number 6 next. Just got to get these old ones out of here. It's a coil wire, it's all jacked up. I don't know if I mentioned in any of the other videos, but this car, from the intelligence that I have gathered, has been sitting parked on non-op since 1994. All right, last but not least is the coil wire. One thing I forgot to do, but I just did it, was put dielectric grease on both sides of the boot. You know, those wires I had to take off and reroute. They didn't come off so easy. So, you know, just put a little bit of this on there, rub it around. It really helps these come off a lot easier. So let's get the coil wire on. That on there, get this old one out of here. Garbage. There. Toss that sucker. This one too. Later. Alright. Alright, awesome. Alright, I'm gonna put the camera over real quick, just again so you guys can see a quick overview. Now I do have this breather hose that's open. This is where you put the oil in for the Javelin, and I don't have the factory air cleaner, so I'm just gonna put a plug over it. All right, so as you can see, got the new spark plug wires in. It doesn't look pretty. Again, I'm just trying to get this thing started. This actually goes against everything that I believe in when it comes to working on cars. I mean, I almost, honestly, when I took off the fuel line that goes in, the hard line that goes into the carburetor, I was gonna polish it. And I started working on it, and I said, you know what? I need to stop right now. We're just gonna try to get this car started. So this is what we're looking at under the hood. So now I gotta get this oil, put some new oil in the car now. It should all be drained out. Okay, here's an outtake, story of my life. So a little bit of oil spilt and got under my little oil catcher can thingy majiggy. And so I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna wipe that up real quick. So I stood up my oil catcher, and it poured oil all over under the car. So, story of my life. All right, since I'm making a big old mess, what the heck? Why not just take the oil filter off and see what all this looks like. I'm trying to see where the oil's gonna fall. I've got no good sense of perception here. Trying to hold the camera and take this filter off. Oh, wow. Okay. This filter is like empty. You can see this thing is bone dry. First off, I would never put in an oil filter bone dry, but I guess, then again, the way it's at an angle like that, I guess it's gonna spill everywhere. So I'm gonna put oil in and let it spill, but don't like having a dry filter. Okay, so I ended up reusing that STP oil filter, being that it looked brand new on the inside. I did put some oil in it. Probably half of it spilled out when I was putting the oil filter on, since it mounts sideways. So I put it on, and I'm gonna go ahead now and add some oil. I made a complete mess, as you guys saw, so I'm a little irritated, but hey, that's the way it is sometimes. So it had fresh oil in it. The oil looked really good. I didn't see any sludge or anything. I don't know how much was in it, so now at least I know there's 5 quarts in it, which the 360 takes. So there's going to be 5 quarts of oil in it, so I know I'm good on that front when it comes to starting the motor. So I'm going to get this oil put in. Let's see here. Pretty interesting how it goes right there. So I'm just going to pour away. This is actually pretty cool because I don't need a funnel. All right, 1. Well, I spilled about a quarter of it on my engine, but hey, whatever. Story of my life. Been a long day messing with this thing. Not like the TV shows where you come back from the commercial break and it's started. Okay, I have the battery in. That was a bit of a fiasco to get that in. It just doesn't drop in real easy. Kind of got to scoop it in there. So, got the battery in there. Right now, I'm gonna hook it up and see if anything lights up. All right, battery's hooked up. Oh, look at that. The couple lights are on the dash here. Yeah, nothing there. Wipers, nothing there. Lights. Look at that. Something going on there. I read something that if the seatbelt's not engaged, that the car won't start. That's what that little logic box is under the dash. So, didn't really do nothing. Well, need some further investigation, which is fine. It's almost a horn. But this battery that I got is used anyway, so I gotta see if it's any good. No starty. No start. I'd have to see what this is. I don't know. A little thing broke off. It said what it was, I believe. Oh, these are the lights. Oh, I think the lights work. I'm gonna go around. Look at that. We got headlights. Okay. That's a good sign. How about in the back? Let's see what we got going on in the back. I believe I took the tail bulbs out, tail light bulbs, so nothing there. So at least we got headlights and some buzzing sound. So I'll have to continue my investigation. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. like and subscribe.